dear Lord, are they in trouble as a franchise? That's a eye-opening kind of day yesterday for the Patriots. This is the problem with being a Pats fan right now, from my perspective.
What's that?
Is that there are weeks where you have a good week, you have a decent week, like the one against the Bears.
Yeah.
And you know it's a bad team on the other side, and you know that they are at the bottom of the barrel with you. But you want to feel so hopeful and so positive. And we came in the day after that Bears game, and man, were we happy. I was thrilled. Like, yeah, it's the Bears, but there's positives here. And look at that great 7 minutes of football they played. And, oh, wow, this is, things are going to trend in the right direction. And they could be in the next two games. And you just want to feel so good about anything.
Yeah.
And then you get too excited and you get ahead of yourself.
Right.
And you get silly.
But then
and then you do the opposite after a day like yesterday, which is the thing I want to try and not do today. I want to try to not do it, but I know I'm there. And that is, you think to yourself and you start having fears of how many years away are they? And is it so many years that the rookie contract of Drake May will be totally irrelevant by the time they have enough talent on the roster to be good again? Because they are many years away right now.
Yeah,
they have so many holes on this roster, and they have holes on their coaching roster, which we will get to as well. But there are just so many concerns about their talent and their roster on this team, and the coaching is almost secondary to it right now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But it is.
Well, I think us as a talk show, I think us as fans, us as people that are affiliated with the team that call the games, you get really overly excited when things are good, and because you want hope and you feel good about it. And I think after a day like yesterday, it sort of resets everything for you. I think the tough part, like you mentioned Chicago, you mentioned, even prior to that, and then you get to the Rams, and you play the Rams to a one-score game, even though it got away from you, but you came back in that game, and you showed some fortitude, and that's a better team. I think you respect their coach, you respect their quarterback, the receivers are really good, and I just think for 3 to 4 weeks, you felt like you were building to something. And then yesterday happens, and it makes you just rethink everything. See, the problem with this team is their margin for error is so small. And when you create and have as many errors as they did yesterday, I don't know where you want to start. You want to start with penalties, the inability to line up, to adjust to anything they were doing defensively. I mean, offensively for our defense. God, that tackling, special teams. Drake didn't play great yesterday. There's a multitude of things you could criticize in this game. And I don't think they're years off. I don't, because there are games this year where you're a possession away. You're a possession away. That's not years. Years is like Carolina when you're getting your teeth kicked in every week. It doesn't feel to me we're getting our teeth kicked in every week. That's not happening.
Well,
I know you're 3-9.
They got their teeth kicked in yesterday.
That was the worst. That's the worst loss of the season yesterday.
Yeah.
From just an ass kicking. You got your ass kicked yesterday.
And the Dolphins are a good team. I don't consider them a threat to win the Super Bowl. Do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
We talked about it last week. We were talking about the Dolphins, and I said, I don't think the Dolphins are going to.
What?
I said you can call them a contender and that they could get to an AFC title game.
I wouldn't want to play them in a wild card game.
But you're never going to pick the Dolphins to go to Kansas City and win.
No.
You're never going to pick the Dolphins to go to Buffalo and win. So where does that end? Probably in the divisional round. That's probably where it ends for them.
They could beat a Pittsburgh. They could beat a Baltimore.
That's if they get there, by the way.
They could beat a Charger team.
They're playing well right now.
Yeah. But they're playing well at the right time of year.
Okay.
Like, they're ascending.
Good for them.
Their quarterback was phenomenal yesterday.
It was the best we've ever seen him. In all of his wins against New England, this one probably ranks at the
That's
top.
how you distribute the ball in offense. Yeah, like that.
They are years away. Years.
Years.
Multiple.
Years away to do what? To do what Miami's doing right now? So they're sub 500.
They're multiple years away from being a 10-win team in the NFL.
Okay, now you're talking about 10-win team, but being in the hunt, I think is a year away. You could be in a hunt a year away.
I don't know.
No, but you're a 3-win team. But Seattle's team, say you beat Seattle, Miami, you're at 5 wins there. That 5 wins, you're in the hunt right now. The league is so bad right now, especially the
NFC.
It is,
but you can't count on the league being bad.
I know that.
Year.
But Bert said that yesterday, going into the game, there was no games where there was a team above 500 playing another team. Like, there were no good games yesterday. That's scary.
The game itself was so bad yesterday that I want to avoid talking about it. Is that a normal feeling? To want to avoid talking about the particulars of the game itself?
No, I think fans are angry.
I mean, that's just an honest thing. I'm telling you right now. I want to avoid it.
Natural
We're not going to avoid it. I just want to avoid it.
I know.
Because it was a disaster. It's one of the worst football games we've seen in a long time around here.
You just felt overmatched in every phase.
It was non-competitive. It was not a competitive day. You didn't even compete.
No.
You would have been better forfeiting and not showing up for the game.
That's the worst part of it. That is the worst part of it. Like on a couple, like Jonnu Smith breaking 4 tackles is like, that can't happen.
He's had a good year.
He looks good.
He looks rejuvenated.
Reinvigorated.
You know what it is? South Florida.
You feel good down there.
Just feel
Look
good.
how good you felt. Like,
Just feel good, man.
did you like when you wake up in a hotel?
chill.
You woke up in a hotel. You pull the drapes, and it's like people are walking on the beach at 6 a.m. Like, people feel good. You look good. You feel good. You play good.
I saw some old guy. I love the old guy laps out in the ocean, right? Doing the backstroke.
That's ridiculous with the amount of sharks that are there now. Too.
Slap. You know, they just slap the water. And you're like, are you even swimming? How are you doing that?
Oh, they're creating noise.
Just like-
Yeah.
Come bite me. Just come bite me.
Slapping the water, doing that back out by the buoys. And I thought,
Just
Zoe would be having a panic attack
I-
watching this guy right now.
We usually stay in the hotel you stayed at. I know you had a good time down there, but I would sit there and watch these people swim. And like you see all the reports of the drones and them looking at the sharks just going up and down. Even at South Beach, they're everywhere now. I'm like, what are you doing out by the buoy swimming?
Out by, that's a ways. Those buoys are not close.
300 yards. 300
I don't know if
yards.
it's 300.
Whoa,
It's let's
you'd
say
be-
100.
you'd be
It's
shocked.
out there.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
That's a long ways out. All right, but anyway, yeah, the game was that bad.
Yeah.
And that's what has me thinking all of these thoughts about how many years away they are, how many holes there are in this roster. It's a bad roster. The Patriots are so devoid of talent at so many spots. There are guys starting on this team that do not make the rosters of not 1 or 2 top NFL teams.
Yep.
There are guys starting games for this team that do not play and make the team on half of the teams in the league.
I said it yesterday in fifth quarter, our post game, like, and it kind of hit you. Like Reese did the thing this morning with Fred and Hardy about, okay, let's go through the offense. Maybe you would have 3 guys that would be starting on another team. And then you go to the defense. You could argue it's 3 to 5. I said on fifth quarter, like, they may have 25 to 30 new players next year.
They should.
They should.
No, because, like, you have to seriously, as a personnel guy and a coach, and Trud knows the game. These guys have been around the game. You turn on the film, like, we can't compete with this. There's not one time where you look at it yesterday, and as the game's going on, the 2 tackles, we can't do what we want to do. And we can't get this quarterback to play the way we want him to play because we're not giving him a chance. Do you know how bad it is? And people will criticize Van Pelt from yesterday. He couldn't do anything yesterday. I would not want to be Alex Van Pelt yesterday where it's 1st and 15, 1st and 20, 2nd and 17. You don't have plays for that. You really don't. You know, Drake talked about it after the game too. Like, it feels like, you're 2nd and 15, 2nd and 17, 3rd and 17. You have no chance. On the road. On the road, no way. Not when you're committing that many penalties, too. Here's the thing. Penalties are one thing. Like, you're going to have effort where a guy's going to get beat, you're going to dive, you're going to tackle somebody, they're going to call a hold. The pre-snap penalties are inexcusable. That is attention to detail. And at some point, you'll say, oh, well, why isn't that coach harder? It's got to fall on the damn players at some point. Like, that's job security. Like, if you're not
Right, but it's a chicken or egg thing. Because if you have bad players, they're harder to coach,
of course.
right? And then if you have bad players and they're harder to coach, you make your coaches look bad.
Sure.
So which part is it? Are they not getting the coaching or do they just suck? And
Well, I mean, what happened?
part of me believes you don't even find out if you have any good coaches because your players are so bad.
Why were they so tightened up week 1? Because everything was new and they were ready to go. Like, here we are. This is what happens 12, 13 weeks into the season. As things start falling apart a little bit.
Challenge anyone to explain to me how it is that Elliott Wolf did not build a minor league roster for the Patriots this year. That is on him. It's not just that they lost tackles. It's not just that they were thin on the offensive line. Look at this team. They are minor league. And that is a roster problem, and that is Elliott Wolf's problem, and I would like to know what it is he has done well in almost a first calendar year being in charge. He's not new here. He's been here for a while. Matt Crow, not new here. I don't know why everyone on the beat has been bringing up Pat Stewart's name a lot.
Well, he's with them.
But he's been brought up recently. You want to throw Pat Stewart's name in? Let's throw his name in. You want it? Yeah, here you go. Now we're going to go down the roster of the front office guys. Okay, now we're going to get more of the lesser-known front office names for you in the coming weeks. Because if you want to know who to blame for the Patriots looking as dreadful as they looked yesterday, start with the front office. This is a minor league roster. Minor league. And all they want to do is piss and moan about what Bill left them. Well, they've done a terrible job at improving their situation. They're a minor league team. That sucked yesterday. So we'll get into it. You mentioned the pre-snap penalties. We could start with that. The offensive line was really bad. Also, an observation from being in the stadium yesterday and sitting behind the Patriots bench.
Oh, this is from you?
They got an attitude problem on this team.
Oh, really?
And it's not the players necessarily. I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
Something that I can't take full credit. Someone tipped me off to this, and I started watching it all day and became obsessed with it. You guys know what it is. I told you already. This is in the Globe today. Ben Volen, who asked an excellent question of Gerard Mayo a week ago. He's back at it on Gerard Mayo today with some instant analysis saying Robert Kraft has never been known to make knee-jerk decisions. He really likes Gerard Mayo. He has staked some of his reputation to Mayo, and he wants Mayo to succeed as the Patriots coach. But the blowout loss to the Dolphins is the type that should make Kraft reevaluate everything about the future of his franchise. Whether Alex Van Pelt is the right man to be developing the team's golden asset, Drake May. Whether Elliott Wolf should be picking the players next offseason. Whether DeMarcus Covington is the best leader to run the defense. And whether Mayo is the right man to lead the Patriots into the future. He writes, expectations weren't high for Mayo and the Patriots this season, so it's not necessarily their 3-9 record that's so troublesome. This is the time of the season the Patriots should be showing improvement, but instead are going backward. I agree with that. They're going in the wrong direction. That's a bad time of year to be going in the wrong direction.
I mean, it's 1 week. It is, to be fair. Like, the last month of football, they've been okay.
Don't you feel like...
I felt they took a big step backwards Sunday. I do feel that.
Shouldn't they be thankful that this wasn't 3 or 4 more weeks from now into the season?
Oh, this is like... If this is that game sandwich in between Buffalo, like, you wouldn't know what to do. Yeah.
These guys should feel like, we've got time to save ourselves.
You
and
do.
I don't mean save your jobs. I mean save the season and not have it be a complete joke.
I did talk to a player after it, and he said that. He conveyed that to me. He goes, thank God we have games left to feel good about ourselves.
Good.
I think that's...
I'm glad someone realizes that it's a good thing that this happened now and not in 3 weeks.
I'm interested in this jacking around the locker room because I travel with the team, obviously.
You said you don't go in the locker room, so how would you know?
I did not go in the locker room. So there, but like I'm in there when they bring the 5 players to the podium. Like Hunter Henry looked pissed off. Drake was pissed off. Same thing. Jones, Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones. We got Gonzalez. Who else do we get? Gerard was pissed. And then I get to the buses and I see everybody. Like, that's your comfort zone where hey, we can be ourselves.
Yeah. All right.
I don't see anybody jacking around.
Well, they already did it. It was done in the locker room. They had their fun.
Who?
They're fun.
Was it the wide receiver group again?
Like, that was a reporter.
Would not surprise you, right?
Would it shock you?
I know the offensive line doesn't have anything to be laughing about after the game, so I go through positions. I know the tight ends take it serious and they're pros. Offensive line get their ass kicked yesterday. They got nothing. They shouldn't be talking after.
Isn't there a point yesterday where you have to sit for Darian low down?
They put City So in a tackle.
I know they did. But shouldn't it
Here's your
happen?
problem. And Bob said it to me, and he goes to the actives, guys that are active. The problem is, and Gerard knows this too, you can't carry 12 guys active from the line standpoint on a given Sunday. So you're at really 8 or 9. So you're playing 5. You got 3 guys you're flexing. Problem is 2 of them are guards. Like, you don't carry extra tackles on that Sunday. You might next Sunday because of how bad they were.
Because of how terrible they were.
But here's the thing: who are you putting in?
Well, that's just it. Mayo even
Those are
talked
your
about it
best.
this morning.
Those
They
are your
said,
best.
would you coach differently if you could sub guys out that are making mistakes? And he said, that's a fair assessment. As in, like, who do you want me to put in for Verdarian? I don't have any other options.
That would be my counter. That would be, if I was him, that would be my counter. Okay, you want to take Lott. Who do you want me to put in? Because the other two guys quit. Like, they're not there. Like,
Here's my observation about what was going on that sideline
Okay,
yesterday.
get to this.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Gerard Mayo is spending his days, game days, doing nothing but complain to the referees. The amount of time that he spent in the refs' ears yesterday, the officials, there's obviously only one ref.
Okay, so one guy's Alan Eck. He's a second-year guy. So they're not a veteran staff. Go ahead.
It never ended. Oh, my God. And CBS showed it on the broadcast right before halftime that he was still in the officials' ears.
I couldn't see that. I hit my head on the TV because it's up here.
I could not believe how much complaining came from that Patriots bench to the officials all day long.
Yeah.
And when you are trailing and you are getting your ass kicked the way they were in that game, do you know how foolish you must look to those guys working the game? They looked like a bunch of clowns. He looks like a clown when he's out there down 3 touchdowns.
So you saw this from watching. You're up looking right down.
I'm watching right there. I'm watching the whole day. I'm like, this guy, it's never ending. At one point, Jacoby Brissett is out there during a TV timeout, 13 yards onto the field, like more than halfway to the hashes, talking to an official.
Pleading his case.
Pleading. I'm like, at what point do you turn around as an official and say, dude, you're not even playing in this game. Get the F off my field.
I'm sure
Get
they thought that. If
out of here. And I'm telling you, it's pervasive. That is a team that complains a lot. And I'm thinking to myself, can you imagine being the official who has to throw the flag on Verdarian Lowe 3 times in what was the first, 5 minutes of action out there yesterday? And is thinking to himself, I've got to listen to you clowns talk about how bad we are? Hey, guys, it's 24-0. We're not your problem today. Yeah. And the amount of time and energy that I witnessed the Patriots bench yesterday complaining to officials blew my mind. I looked at it and said, wow, that is a loser team. You're down 24-0, and I'm glad CBS showed it. CBS put Mayo on TV right before halftime yesterday. Yip, in the ref's ear, down 24-0. Guy, you might want to focus a little more attention and energy into what's going on with your crew and not the crew of officials. I'm telling you, embarrassing level of complaining that went on by that team in that game yesterday for a team that was not competitive and got their asses kicked. They were concerned with the refs. And then it's 11 minutes to go, 4th down. Was it 3rd down? The play to Hunter Henry, the deep right. Was that 4th down?
He dropped?
Was it? They turn it over on that play?
Did he drop? No.
It was a drive where Kendrick Bourne had the PI call.
Yeah.
And I thought, that was 50-50. They got the benefit of the doubt on that one. Good. Drive continues. It's 3rd down. 3rd down. It was 3rd and short. And they threw that deep ball down the right sideline.
Yep.
To Henry. No, it was Hunter Henry.
Okay.
And Henry was nowhere near the play. And they claim, I could tell. I'm like, I'm watching this play out. The whole bench starts with Alex Van Pelt and Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry's complaining that he'd been held on the play. Van Pelt then joins in, and then all the other players on the bench who I don't even think saw the play were like, yeah, he was getting hugged. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, guys, it's 31-7. Go home. Clear the field and get on the bus at this point and just go home.
It's hard. You're looking for any positive play at that point. You already got
a little bit of a bailout on this drive to keep it going. Right? That call could have gone either way. Yeah, and they gave you the flag on that one.
When you're in it, you don't feel that way. That's the problem.
Because Kendrick Bourne did sell that one just a little bit. He sold it, but whatever. That's what you do.
That's what you have to do.
I don't have any issue with that. You got the flag, right? He gets the flag. The drive continues. That was a 4th down failure, if you ask me, by the Pats. Because was he grabbed? All right, yeah. Was he catching the ball? I don't think so. So you get out of that with the flag. The drive continues. It's 3rd and 4. You're going to throw it a million miles downfield to Hunter Henry, and you're mad at the ref. That was the play you picked out for the 3rd and 4, and now you're pissed at the refs again, and it had been going on all day long. And it was 31-7 at that point, and they're still screaming at the refs. And I just thought they look like the biggest bunch of losers out here. What a bunch of losers. You losers and your loser mentality, flipping out on the refs all day. That's what bad teams do. With the left tackle who goes and false starts every 30 seconds. Yeah. And the right tackle who sometimes does the same and can't block anybody. And the quarterback who fumbles every freaking game now.
Yeah, that cannot end up.
And you're going to yell at the refs about it? Guys, clean it up. And that to me starts with the head coach. That's a culture problem led by the head coach in game.
I remember,
dude, clean it up.
I remember we'd be doing that
Grow
too.
up.
And it is part, and I've been there. Like, the head coach starts doing it, and then the assistants start it, and then the players jump on too. Because now, he's doing it, I'm going to ride him too.
It's infectious.
Parcells would turn around and be like, shut the F up, I'll handle the refs. Okay, you let me handle the refs. Back your ass up, and then you end it.
In game, guys on the field, guys on the sideline, the backup quarterback at TV timeouts. All they did was complain all day to the refs. And I think they should be embarrassed by it. It was embarrassing behavior by the team. They got smoked yesterday. That score doesn't even come close to reflecting how big of an ass kicking that was. No, but they're jacking around in the locker room too, Zo. Right after the game. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, great times. Sweet roster you built, Elliot Wolf. That is awesome. That's the first guy who needs to go. Front office, clean it out. They built a minor league roster. Get rid of them.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.